Hey everybody, my name's Colton for MMOHuts.com, and I'm here with
DryBear.
DryBear, yes, absolutely. And we are going to be talking about Paladins. So first I want to thank you for taking your time to be with us today. So Paladins is now open beta on PC. It is now in closed beta on console, if I'm not mistaken, or is it open on console now?
It is still in an early closed alpha kind of state on console. We actually have signups going on right now at Paladins.com. If you want to get in the closed alpha on console. We're moving pretty quickly on it too, so we're hoping to have a lot more to share soon.
Fantastic. This is the first time in Hi-Rez Expo history, though, that Paladins has been a major featured game, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We had it last year as kind of a booth thing where you can play, and it was that. But now this year we have the full invitational going on. It's a $100,000 tournament. Teams from all over the world have come to play and try to see who's the best.
How excited are you about the major presence of Paladins as an esport and its potential growth?
I'm always excited, right? It's really exciting to see, one, you see the growth, you see the community, you see the people that love the exciting action that happens during a match. But you also get to see all those things you worked on and then see people that have been playing it for 12 hours a day, take it and just twist it in some way you didn't intend and do something really cool with it, right? So when you're watching one of the pro players playing EV and kind of blinking around or something like that, it's really exciting to see what they do with it.
Awesome. So what are some, because I want to go ahead and get this out of the way early, what are some of the things you would say to people who draw the comparison between Paladins and Overwatch? Because it's something our audience has done a number of times, and it certainly hasn't, I don't want to use the phrase escaped notice, but like it's definitely, there are some minor similarities. What would you say to people who draw those comparisons? Like, what's kind of your response to that reaction?
It happened a lot when we first kind of went into the open beta state and people started to play more and more of it. Obviously, Overwatch is a fantastic game, kind of for game of the year, that kind of thing. And I think, obviously, when you're inside of one genre, it's very easy to kind of see similarities between them. And when you look back on the history of FPS, there are a lot of tropes that you'd expect to see, right? When we set up to make the characters in Paladins, we knew, okay, we need a rocket launcher character, we need a machine gun character, we need a sniper rifle, we need all these different things that people expect to see, and generally those tropes come with expectations, right? When you're playing a rocket launcher character, for example, it is much easier to hit rockets when you're shooting down on someone, right? And so you want mechanisms in that kit to be able to take them above other people, right? So there's a lot of things that build on top of that that we've seen in FPS games for over a decade, 2 decades, right, since Doom. So we want to build on top of that, and obviously we don't want to go too far on that. We do have a lot of characters that we're very proud of that are very different, Bomb King, Maldama, those kind of things. But we wanted to make sure that the characters that people, when you hop in, you're like, I'm a rocket launcher guy, or I'm a sniper rifle player. I want to get that experience when I hop into Paladins. We want to make sure we match that, and it happens with most other games. Designers on other games will do the same thing, right? When you have an expectation, we want to match it. But as we go forward, right, we're very quick on releasing champions. We have a very big champion schedule for 2017. We're going to move very, very quickly. Some of the champions even being back-to-back patches. And we hope that from there, people can see that the depth of Paladins from the character level, but obviously on top of that, we have the cards, and we have the items, and the economy, and the mounts, and plenty of other things that differentiate us from any other game on the market.
Fantastic. Jumping off the back of that question, what can we expect? Maybe you can give us a little insider information on the next character to be added.
Next one's gonna be a frontline. There's been some leaks around it before. I've been a little loose-lipped on some of the streams and Q&As we've had.
Well, let them fly. I mean, they're on camera. Let them fly.
So what we wanted to do, because obviously, personally, my goal and the goal for the team is always, every time we release a champion, to try and expand out the team composition pool, but also give you different options in every role. So right now, we obviously have your kind of poster boy Fernando that is just your kind of very typical tank, right? Pops up the shield, he has kind of good mobility, team fight control.
Chiseled jaw.
Wonderful hair, big plume, strong chin. Mm-hmm. He brings that together, but we want to have something that kind of changes that and also gives you more options to build different kinds of front lines, but also change that composition. So our next champion, his name's Torvald. He'll be coming in and have more of a personalized shield experience. He can project shields on other teammates, which we've never done before, so that allows certain characters like Cassie or Evie or even Tyra, which we just released, who is a little bit vulnerable in some situations, to have that moment of tankiness. But also one mechanic we're pretty excited about is he steals shields from other frontliners. So he has the ability to siphon shield health from an existing shield and charge his own shield with it, destroying the shield that's in front of him.
Wow, that is incredible. Definitely looking forward to that. So with Paladins, as the game grows, are you expecting it to take a competitive turn on the scale that Smite has?
When we look at, as a studio, as games for an esport, I mean, we know that obviously with Smite and Tribes, we kind of experienced this before, becoming an esport usually takes a while, right? There's kind of a ramp up there. And generally we don't design the games with an esport in mind, but we make sure that it's available, and then we wait for the appetite to grow in the community to see, okay, yeah, people really want to compete in this game, they want to play for lots of money, and I think Paladins really fits for that really well, right? So when you see Paladin competition building up, we're always there just kind of fostering and injecting and make sure that people have what they need to make it grow. The $100,000 Invitational is a good reason for that, right? So we kind of check that out, and we hope that as this year rolls out and we have some esports plans coming, that it continues to skyrocket.
Cool. Well, I definitely wanted to ask you also, as Paladins has grown, it really has undergone a massive transformation. When we did our website, so much has it undergone in terms of transformation and change that it's a completely different game. We've had to do 3 different first look videos on Paladins and I wasn't a massive fan of Paladins in its first iteration. But what the game has grown into, I have absolutely fallen in love with. How do you feel you came to that point where you got to that, from where it was kind of like, I hesitate to use the phrase a mess, but it was kind of a mess, to where it is now, where it's this really polished feeling experience. It's very fast. It does have some of those fun qualities that you see in games like Overwatch or Quake Arena and things like that. But it also adds its own flair with mounts and things like that you can do. How did you get there? What was that process like?
It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, right? And usually, when we're looking at games, we do this all of our games. We make sure that our first priority is the gameplay experience, right? We want to make sure that the kernel of that game is right, that people enjoy playing it, that the essence is strong enough that you'll play it again and again and again. And personally, if that's not there, nothing else matters. So we try to, as fast as possible, speed towards that. And generally, sometimes we'll throw caution to the wind. So anyone was here during the closed beta experience, bless you. It was, we were patching every single week. We were moving along from that. We were throwing out card systems, changing them, changing all the characters, tossing things around. And a lot of that was just trying to, as aggressively as possible, get to the core experience that makes sense, but also include the community in that, right? We're one of the few developers that likes to bring a big community in early on, let them give constant feedback, take that feedback and also bring it into the game and use those as ways to enhance it. So we want to thank the community too for giving lots of feedback all along the way, all through closed beta. And we finally found the point where just, okay, the community likes it, we like it, we know it works, the experience is there, and we found the magic. And then once we have that, then we can get to work with all of our talented professional artists and engineers and designers and take this game and just hyper polish it, put the wrapping paper on it, and make sure it's good, because when you open it up, the core of it is right.
Right. Fantastic. Now, with the future of the game, I want to talk a little bit about that. Are there any plans for more game modes, more objectives?
Yes.
And can you tell us about any of them?
Sure. So we're working on new game modes, of course. We do actually have a little bit of a return of survival. For anyone who played it before, kind of like a 5-on-5 permadeath kind of mode. So we have some stuff coming with that, and obviously not all the game modes make it into the live client, right? We kind of internally test them. We also do have some work on some kind of PvE encounter experiences that we're working on that allow teams to kind of pick different comps. And one of the things that I personally like it a lot, the work that we're doing internally, is that when you flip it from PvP to PvE, you can now start using the cards in completely different ways, and the item system as well. It's one way to just kind of shift how you look at the items available and make a different experience out of it.
Absolutely. Now, with the game, is there any word that you can give us on when you're expecting the console version of Paladins to go into more of an open beta? And if it's not quite there yet, if that's a ways off, what are some of the ways that our viewers can try to get access other than just signing up while they're like code giveaways or anything they can keep an eye on? Maybe follow some people on social media for that kind of thing? What options are there for getting into the game for our console players? On
Twitter, you can follow Paladins Game, obviously, and then any Hi-Rez folks you can find on Twitter. We do kind of periodic giveaways. We are still giving out keys, and obviously with the sign-ups, we'll still kind of process through that. We do have some more information coming on the console side later this month and kind of pushing out from there, and then hopefully as we get closer and closer, we want to get that as fast as possible.
Absolutely. So the website to check out was paladinsgame.com?
Paladins.com.
Paladins.com. Paladins.com, where you can sign up for the closed beta of the console version of the game. You can also check out the open beta of the PC version of the game, which is a ton of fun. I absolutely love the iteration that it's in. Where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter as Hi-Rez DryBear. Same thing everywhere else if you want to kind of check me out. And also on the forums and the Reddit every day, kind of reading and responding. So
fantastic. He's been DryBear. I'm Colton Layton. You can follow me at @bottom_tier for MMOHuts.com. Thanks for tuning in.